This is going to be a very quick crash course in the changes to Google Classroom that have taken place over the summer of 2018. There are many videos on YouTube that go into much greater depth than I'm going to go into. This is going to be very brief. But if you've come back into school after the summer holidays in 2018 and find that your Google Classroom has changed somewhat and you're wondering what's going on, then I hope this will be useful to you. So what we're going to do first of all is look at changes to classes that you set up before the update to Google Classroom. So any classes that you set up before the summer holidays in 2018. I'm going to open up one of my older classes. And the first thing you may notice is that the 3 tabs at the top have changed to 2 tabs. So we used to have 3 tabs. They were Stream, Students and About. And now we have 2 tabs which are Stream and People. The Stream tab is very similar to the way it was before the update, and it's here that I can add content, and I can do that in the same way as before by clicking on this plus button at the bottom right, and from here I can add announcements, assignments and questions. The People tab is where I will find all my students, and I can invite more students with this invite button here, and also my teachers. If I want to add any co-teachers to this class, I can use this invite button here. I'm going to go back to my Stream tab, and over on the right hand side here we will see there is an About link. If I click on that, I can see the name of my class, I can see the class code, which I can display by clicking on this display button should I want to do that, and also all the materials that I previously added in my About tab. Another thing that's changed slightly is that at the top here we have this Settings button, and if I click on the Settings button we can access a lot of the things that we used to find in our About tab. So here I've got the name of my class and the information about it, and I can edit it using this pen button. I've got my class code here, and very importantly this is where I change the permissions that my students have to post and comment on the stream. So if I want to change those permissions, I can click on the menu here and access one of those 3 options. Here are the class materials that I previously added using the About tab, which of course is no longer there, and if I want to add class materials I can use this link here. So those are the main changes to classes that were created before the Google Classroom update. What I'm going to do now is go on and show you what happens to classes that you create since the update has taken place, because they're slightly different to before. So I'm now going to open up a class that I've created since the updates to Google Classroom, and you'll see that we're back to 3 tabs at the top, but they're slightly different to the way they were before. We have the Stream tab, we have a Classwork tab, and we have the People tab. The Stream tab is slightly different to the way it was before the update, because if I go down to the Add Content button at the bottom right, you can see that I can only create an announcement here. So this, I suppose, you could describe as the place where the conversation of the class takes place. If you enable it, students can post to the stream as you can through announcements, and students can comment on your announcements, and it's where the sort of dialogue will take place. The People tab, as we said before, is where you will see your students. I've only got 1 student in this class, but I can invite more through the Invite Students button, and I can invite a co-teacher through the Invite Teachers button. If I want to show the class code to my students to get more to join, I can find that by using the Settings button at the top right here, clicking on here, and there is my class code, which I can display once again using the menu here. My Classwork tab is now where, as the name suggests, I post my work for the students to do. What's different about this is that we no longer have a button down at the bottom right hand side for adding content. We have this Create button here, which I'll come back to in a moment. And also if I want to access my folder in Google Drive that stores all the work in this class, then I can access it through here. And this button takes me to the Google Calendar for this class. If I click on my Create button, I can see that I can add assignments and questions, and I can also reuse posts. And when you use the reuse post option, you can reuse posts from any class. It doesn't have to be just from this class. Any other class that you are assigned to, you can use posts from. I've created a couple of assignments here already, and you'll notice that this assignment is stored under this computing topic. This is because I've created a topic previously called computing, and through the classwork tab you can create different topics and you can organize all your work into these topics, and they're displayed very nicely. So what I'm going to do is show you how we do that. I'm going to click on create, choose topic, and let's have a topic for English, and I'm going to click add, and I've now got a new topic displayed. And if I were to create a new piece of work, let's quickly create a question. This is my question, and we're going to give that points out of 10. And let's just change that to multiple choice, and then choose the topic here as English before I click ask. You can see that the question I've just asked has gone nicely into my English topic. So I can arrange all my work into different topics in this way, and it makes them much more organized. Here's an assignment I created previously that currently has no topic. If I click on my three dots here and choose edit, I can then assign one of my topics to this assignment. Let's choose English for this one as well. Click on save, and that has now been filed, so to speak, under my English topic. Notice I can now reorder these different assignments or questions under this topic. So if I click on the three dots here, I can choose to move down, and that has reordered those pieces of work in my English topic. I can also do that with my topics. So if I want to move English to the top, I can click on the three dots, can click on move up, and that will move that to the top of the classwork tab. So I can organize my work with much more power than I had before the updates were created. I should just point out as well that the way you mark work and give feedback on student work that's been submitted through assignments has changed slightly, not hugely, but they've improved the functionality of that. I'm not going to go into that in this video. I'll create another video about that in the future because it requires a little more depth. Finally, I'm going to go up to the settings button here at the top right, and as before, this is where we can change our title and information about the class. I can view my class code. I can change the permissions that the students have to post or comment onto my stream by clicking on this drop down here, and I've also got a couple of other options there. So that is a very, very brief overview of the main changes to Google Classroom which took place over the summer of 2018.